All right, so back again today. We're looking at Ray Vault today. So I was looking through the lists on Swubase to see which decks were winning PQs, which leaders were representative in there, and you can see we've got a whole bunch of leaders and that in here. Quinlan right up the top with Boba Fett, Han Solo, Darth Vader, Iden. Yoda went from 1 last week all the way to 7, including a win, which was the win that I got. So it was pretty cool. And we see poor old Ray down the bottom here, only one appearance in a top 8 in the PQ. So not great. And that. So what I wanted to try and answer tonight was, is Ray a dead deck, or is there something there in with the Ray Data Vault still? So let's queue up. Same scenario as we always do. 10 games. We record the score. Let's get into it. All right, so we're already queued. So the issue with Ray is it was a very grindy deck, but the red aspect with Kiadi-Mundis and Force Throws and that were probably able to grind better. So let's see. Anyway, we've got a Boba Fett to start with, so we'll keep this hand. We've got the ramp, we've got double moisture farmer start, and we can pitch the tech and the Akbar. So Ray was one of my favorite decks in set 2. I used to play Ray Town, and then in Ray, and then in last set it was obviously Ray Data Vault. Let's get these moisture farmers going. All right, we'll pass. The Akbar is kind of nice, but I think I like the resupply better. Wow, he's going to spend we spent 1 resource to put out a moisture farmer, and he spent his entire turn hitting it with an open fire. So we paid 1 for the farmer, he spent 3. So that is a pretty good deal. All right, so we're going to keep with Beck here. We've already got a tech in the row, so that on the Ray flip, we're 1 ahead of him at the moment. We'll resource that. Well, we were 1 ahead. Don't know, wait. He potentially wouldn't have attacked first. Let's trigger. Take out the HK. Probably works out better if he does eventually burn this technician next turn, because we're going to be able to get rid of the Boba Fett with the rivals. So the list is always in the description of the video. Let's claim. So we've got a few things against Force, like Terran Tadic, or however you say it. The new Keller and Beck for the grindy matches. The text as always, and then just a bit of low end. Alright, so let's keep the protectors here. We'll start with hitting in with the blue leader. He doesn't have a ship to deploy in, which is very good for us. So we've been playing a lot of red, and we're going back to blue-green to see if there's something there. You look at you can look at the aspects and that here, and you can see how dominated the red is, and look at poor old green is not very represented at all now. Okay, so we can just deploy right here. And see, he hasn't really done anything. If he deploys Boba to the ground, we can just rivals it. He doesn't, so in this situation, we'll just drop the village protectors. We don't need the R2 anymore. This has always been a decent matchup for Rey, and that's why I think it's probably okay suited into the meta at the moment. We can take all of that on base. All right, let's get the hit in while we can with the blue leader. You might deploy Boba here and try and hit our blue leader, which we would be 100% fine with because we've got the rivals. Sequencing matters here for bits of damage. We are playing from behind, so it doesn't matter as much. But what we can do here is attack with Rey, and we can give the experience to the Village Protector so that the HK can't kill it. Okay, so let's rivals. And then just keep pushing base at the moment. So we're in a decent position. We don't need the Owen there. Where we can Caloran back this turn. Caloran back is a new card in the new set. Allows you to dig 7 cards. Kind of like the old Vader in the dig the 7 cards, reveal it and play it. But it's also kind of like the home one in that it just reduces. You can only play 1 unit, but it reduces the cost by 3 or less. So it will scale. Okay, so this is unfortunate for us that he was able to clear our Rey. We can probably take that on the Village Protectors because he's going to run into it. So we'll just hit base for 3. And then we'll hit him quite hard here with the Caloran. Okay, so we'll just take a Akbar and shoot the droid. All right, we'll claim. We are the aggressor now. So let's hit his base for 7. It's a shame that Caloran isn't a rebel because we would have home wonned into that. But as it is now, if we're looking at the discard, we can home 1, bring back a blue leader. All right, so we finished that one 1-0. It's interesting looking at the data around the planetary qualifiers. So if you look at the champions and we look at the leaders, and then if we look at all planetary qualifiers, so we want to look at all weeks, we can see Boba Fett is up at 5 wins as champions, 24 top appearances. So, you know, whatever deck you're going to play has to be good into these top sort of 5 decks here. Quinlan, Boba Fett, Palpatine, Kylo is there as well, and then Han. Everyone else has just got 1 win. What's happened here? Did an Akbar win a PQ? Am I looking at the data right then? Tournament results. Well. An Akbar won a PQ in Brazil. Let's have a look at that deck. Wow, it looks fun. It looks like a fun deck. It's got Babu, the new unit, which allows you to attack with their toughness rather than their power. What else? Anything else new here? Doesn't look like it. In sideboard, just a parliamentarian. Looks like a cool deck. Oh, Gunji is there as well. Babu only allows you to attack with the toughness for droids, I believe. So, yeah, it looks cool. Uses that R2, which means if you've got the droid pack, you could even throw that card in. So, yeah, you can see all the leaders here. We've looked at all weeks. It doesn't go further down. There used to be like a show more, but just curious to see what other leaders were there. All right, let's jump back in and see if Rey is viable still.
Hello there.
But yeah, that's funny. Akbar. All right. I won the flip, so yes. We'll keep. It seems like a pretty good hand here. It's always good to have some shielded units against Anakin, so we'll definitely keep those first two. I don't think we need the moisture farmer. And then, so what? He's going to play 2-4. He's not even going to be able to trade up into R2 at all. I like the Yoda because we want a bit of a card draw as well. So what are we going to sacrifice here? Let's do the Sage. Gunji, let's put that on bottom. We want ramp, we want a spark, we want a resupply here. All right, that takes us out of the range of the trade up. All right, so we'll pass here. Here's the resupply that we're after. We're going to have to ditch one of our 7s at the moment. I think I'm going to ditch the Kelleran. I just like the U-Wing for more utility. You can always get a Kelleran out of a U-Wing, but you can't use a Kelleran to do what a U-Wing does. Right, let's see what he does here. That extra health on R2 has put us out of range of the trader. Okay, so he's going to go to the Ezra, so we can just resupply here. And he'll probably trade up next turn with the Ezra. All right, which means we'll be better off just getting rid of the Artie here. Let's put that on bottom. We'll try and the best draw here is a blue leader. We didn't get a blue leader. So what are we going to do here? So we've got the village protectors. We've got the Yoda. Let's put one of the reinforcements away. What we want on the Rey flip turn is protection. Okay, so he's going to pillage us. So that's fine. So let's just keep our card draw. All right, so that blue leader is an excellent draw. Throw out the Yoda. We're going to draw from it anyway. He's going to be able to trade up, but we will be able to draw, which is what we want in this matchup. And we're actually going to be able to play Rey out this turn, and then hopefully follow up for Luke. Okay, so we can draw here. The Terran Tech is good as well. So let's deploy Rey and see what he has in store for us. Might have been a touch silly if he does have a force throw. He would force throw himself. No, he's going to play a itinerant warrior. So let's go with the Terran Tech for this phase. And then we will just hit into base and give ourselves some experience there. Okay, so we've got some great draws. We may be getting done by a force throw here. I think we are okay with that. We can just use the blue leader if we do get done by that. Okay, so he's run into Rey here. So our options are that we can Luke to get rid of the itinerant warrior. think we just sacrifice the Terran Tech to get rid of it here. He deploys the Anakin out. Yeah, so that's not great. What we really need here, do we have a Fleet Lieutenant in their side? No. All right, well, we'll hit the Anakin here with the -6/-6. Doesn't kill it. But we will have a home one play potentially into something like a Village Protector that would keep us safe. But he's going to be able to trade up here with Anakin, which is kind of disappointing. Probably the Spark here. Yeah, let's go the Spark. All right, so we'll play home one. And we'll go a Yoda. We'll just keep trying to draw while we can. Because what we do need is what we do need at the moment is some removal. All right, so we're going to be able to take out the Anakin, but his Sabine is going to be able to one-shot our blue leader. If we do that, we can take out the Anakin leader. Probably worth it. If he doesn't hit straight away, we'll bounce with Bright Hope, but he should hit it because it's a free trade. Okay, so he entrenched home one. I don't know why he did that because it sort of give us a free trade then. Like it gave us a card back. All right, so don't need the entrench now. So we'll go blue leader. Now he can't get the free trade, at least with the Sabine. He will have to trade it. Okay, let's hit the Bright Hope. We'll restore one. I don't want to burn my Fell the Dragon at the moment because he will have crates. And yeah, we do not want to be stung by those. Let's play a Moisture Farmer to start with. Wow, okay. All right, so we'll play 3PO. We'll say 3. It's a 3. Quite a good 3 as well. We do have a Luke in the side if we can get home one up to... All right, so we'll claim. We'll put the tech away. So we can play home one. Yeah, we could play home one and bring back like a Terran Tech or the blue leader. Well, it has to be a white unit, so it would be blue leader. And that would cost us 5. So yeah, I think I'm just going to rivals the Anakin here. We've still got enough resources for a Fell. Okay. All right. Well, I think we just... no, we don't play a tech because he'll trade up into it. I am Mon Mothma. We'll take a Luke. We'll hit in. We're getting that sort of incidental restore happening. All right, so let's claim. Right, so we can play a home one and banana crap shot. Would you change anything in the Yoda deck that you won the PQ with? Yes, there's a couple of things. We'll go over it after this game. So here I've got home one and bring in the blue leader. Or I can just blue leader and kill this Cassian. 5 and 7. So I think that's better. Yeah, there is one or two things, and I'll explain the reasons, mainly in the sideboard. Okay, so let's hit the itinerant. Let's see if he has removal for us. This is where I like the blue-green. It does have some staying power. Like he's thrown a lot of big punches at us. Let's claim. We may be force thrown here. Nope. Okay, so let's push base. Let's put him on the back foot now. Okay. Well, let's hit him with the home one, then into a blue leader. We'll hit Kiadi. All right, so we'll claim here. Quite a dominant position, so let's Fleet Lieutenant with the blue leader. Yeah, and there's the crate that we'd been saving the Fell the Dragon for. All right, so we move 2-0. Not as fluent as the Yoda Red matchups. They are grindy, these Rey Data Vault ones. Okay, so to answer your question, banana crapshoot, let's have a look at the Yoda Red list. So one of the glaring ones that I had to begin with here was Confiscate was pretty bad all day for me, but I still want to Confiscate. I would change these, Confiscate, into a Disabling Fang Fighter. And the reason is that I need the way to break upgrades, but I don't want to change. I want to keep the density of my deck. And when I say the density of, I'm talking about a particular number, and I'm talking about the threes. So this deck has 8, 9, 10, 13 threes out of the 50. And when you do a blind call on C3PO, you want to call your most popular number based upon what's in your deck and what cards have come out. So that's why I would change Confiscates for a Disabling Fang Fighter. I would also put an extra Rivals into the side. So I would get rid of that Concord Dawn Interceptors and put the Rivals there. And everything else, I think, was fine. The bombing run in the main just depends what your local meta, whether you have that in the side and maybe a crate in or redemption if there's a lot of aggro, ground aggro, you could have that in there. So that's what I would change on that deck there. All right, so let's have a look at this deck list again for Rey Data Vault. So it's traditional Rey type 1, but we've got some high elf units. We've got some shielded, and yeah, I've got the entrenched and Kellerans and got the Terrantic. So we're 2-0. Well, let's see if we can keep going with Rey Data Vault set 5. We've got a PQ in a couple of weeks, deciding what to run. This is an option. All right, so we're looking at Grand Admiral Thrawn ECL, so we know we're going to get hit with Vaders. We know we're probably going to get hit with Anakins here as well. All right, so let's keep this. We've got an Owen. We can make him a 1-4. Put the tech to keep